who has participated in a DAO before? Are you still participating? Oh, wow, you guys are built differently. I participate in a few DAOs. Most actually have failed, but I also started a DAO. If you're not familiar, I started Hot Pot DAO. It's basically people gathering together and eat hot pot. I found that to be the most egalitarian way to hang out with people because there's no money involved, there's no deals crossed, it's just people come in and hang out. But I've been like really interested in DAOs and actually how to build sustainable DAO business. So far, we've only had people sponsor hot pots, but I'm looking forward to learning more. And here is Puncar.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. So yeah, I'm Puncar, Puncar H2D on Twitter, or Puncar on Farcaster and LinkedIn. I co-author a book about DAOs, which will be published January 21st. So I will let you know, everyone, when is the pre-sale starting, so you can buy and support. And I also have a small consulting shop, so helping other DAOs. And I also started a workout DAO. And we will be talking about these projects a little bit more. But I prepared this talk to start a little bit with the big picture. So questions at the beginning. Any of you know why North America, like United States, Canada, are way richer than like South American countries?
Bipartisan dictatorship.
Well, dictatorship is something what might be like the influence, like bipartisan dictatorship, yeah. So, well, yes, basically the dictatorship or basically not economical freedom, it's basically what caused all the like fall of the countries in South America, and it goes way back basically with the colonization of North America versus South America, because Spain and other countries colonized the South, were very extractive and didn't allow any economical freedom. Therefore, they just basically took it and didn't support the local environment. On the other hand, in the United States, they tried to be extractive, didn't work out, so they had to actually open the market, and like the local people actually start doing businesses and basically start producing value. And basically from that time, the United States just grow. And why I'm talking about it at the beginning? Because if you want to build any sustainable business, we need to really have the environment for it. Because if there is no environment, no free environment, there is nothing we can actually build. And another examples where, you know, extraction can be really bad, and we should really think about it when we are building our businesses to not be extractive, but more like value creation. It's based on some like historical examples of some revolution or innovations. So there are couples, we can start the medieval innovations. There were technologies, like new technologies, which supported basically like producing more from less work. However, because those technologies were owned by a few people, again, it just produced out of wealth for those landowners and mills owners, but majority of people, 99% of people, got actually worse off. And the same is going in the Industrial Revolution, where there are factories, and again, you know, factories owners, very rich people, but the people working there were not very rich, and you know, child labor and so on. Again, very extractive. Maybe the digital transformation was a little bit better because we all have access to internet. Who doesn't have access to internet? Oh, nobody. So everyone has access to internet. So that's cool. We can share the information. You know, we can build businesses on the internet. However, again, you know, there are many big companies which are taking most of the value, like Facebook, Amazon, and stuff. So again, we are getting more disparities in the income. And now we are coming to blockchain. So how we can learn from the past to basically do better now. So I think we have the biggest opportunity of our times to basically build free, open market, really support the economical freedom, build more businesses, and create more value for everyone involved. Because there is no gatekeepers. there's no banks which can tell you like, no, you cannot transact on our chain. There are no border restrictions because like blockchains are basically everywhere. So we can transact between each other even though I might be here in Czech, some of you might be in the United States or maybe somewhere in Asia, Africa, and we can still transact on the same financial system. So I think this is the biggest revolution yet, because compared to the others, we are not giving power to the few, to the couple owners, but we are basically giving power to everyone to build businesses. So the question is, and everyone is probably asking, how we can all become rich. Because like, you know, we are here for the fun, for the impact, for the public goods, but we also need to pay our bills, and we want to, you know, feel good about what we are doing. So basically, these days, like, it's way easier than any time before to become a billionaire, but way harder to become a millionaire. And this, I think we need to change. In a sense, like, it's nice that like it's easy to become a billionaire, but that will be the 0.01% of people, and then again, the rest will be worse off. So what we can do is really start building in the way that everyone can become a millionaire, and we support basically the group. So one of the examples I put, like how we can basically distinguish between, I would say, a little bit more extractive business model and a little bit more like value creation business model, is the difference between ENS and Dogecoin. So who has here ENS handle? Perfect. Who knows what ENS is? Okay, so basically everyone. So, you know, Ethereum naming service, you can have your ENS handle, so it's way easier for people to share kind of like the account number. I have puncar.eth, so I can just give it to you. I don't need to give you, you know, the whole number and letters. And we can transact way easier. We can have some identity and so on. And ENS is earning revenue from it. So they are earning approximately $2 million in a month from it. And it's really nice, basically sustainable business model, because they are earning that continuum. It's not anything like it will just spike and it will be just super crazy and then go down. And on the other hand, like Dogecoin, there is the great community aspect. I'm not taking that from it. However, who is earning the most money from Dogecoin? Again, the few, because most of the revenue goes to miners or companies like Robinhood, because like the trading fee on the Dogecoin is basically what it's getting created. So there is not really too much value creation. It's just like fun game, a little bit of gamble, maybe a community, but again, extracting value to the big companies. And what I like about the ENS is that that revenue, what they are taking, they are actually distributing kind of back to the community. And you know, they are funding the public goods, like the ENS small grants program. They distributed around like 130 ETH to projects. They supported some Gitcoin grants. So again, another public goods, building the ecosystem larger and really distributing the value. And of course, they are supporting their own internal development, because it's important for their business to grow, to be sustainable, and really become bigger and can support more things. So now we are getting maybe into actually the topic of this talk. Sorry for the historical detour, but I just wanted to see how I'm thinking basically about the building a business really from the big picture perspective. And you know, one of the things like which I learned during my time in crypto and before crypto is like, you know, it's really important to building together. Like it's very statistically rare to actually be a solo founder, because it's hard, you know. It's being alone and doing something. It can be also, you know, very a bad impact on your psychological health and so on. So, the first advice I would give to everyone is like find someone you want to build with so you can support each other, and also maybe someone more experienced. So, take the advice from them, because if someone already built something successful, they might know a thing or two how to build the next thing. And now we are getting into the more detailed examples, and it's called how to DAO. So how is this related to DAOs actually? The DAO thing for me it's actually connected to the financial system, which is democratic, worldwide, what I talk about at the beginning. And that's where you can create more value and you can distribute it further. But to be able to distribute it, you need to have some value creation. So as ENS, basically it's good to have a business model which is coming and having some revenue towards your project. So there are users which appreciate the service, therefore they will pay for it. It's very hard for DAOs to become sustainable if they do not have any income. There are many examples of DAOs which are basically running on the vibes and fumes and stuff, and it can be nice for a little bit, and they can raise some money with some meme token. However, the value, when it's not created, it's never sustainable. So when you are thinking about your next project, think like that maybe at some point there needs to be also some money coming in, not just money coming out. And then how basically you are distributing that value. So the governance and the tokenomics, again, very important. In the ENS example, the community, the token holders are actually voting on who is getting the grants, who is getting the value, what internal development they will be supporting. And as this basically group is getting larger, it's way better for the distribution of the money. So even though short-term might be advantageous to be a dictator, from the historical perspective, it's never getting too far. So I set the example at the beginning between South and North Korea. There might be on both sides at some point dictatorship, but one supported really the economical freedom, and now we have South Korea very rich, the other one didn't. So, supporting the ecosystem, it's really important from the long-term perspective of your business. And incentive alignment, I will be talking about it from one specific project I built. It's how you keep those people, those very good resources within your community. Because if people are just coming and going, and it used to be a thing in DAOs that you can just come and go, and that's kind of the advantages. There is no continuum, and the context is missing, and it's usually because there is no alignment in the incentive of people working on their project. So, the incentive needs to be aligned within the community so you can really push the development long-term further. And some mistakes I have seen. There is actually a statistic that the most successful founders are usually givers, means they are supporting other people within their ecosystem, and how they are getting the value, it's maybe not direct, but the ecosystem as it grows and produces more value, everyone in that ecosystem is better off. So even though some people are really great deal makers, if they are deal makers that they are just extracting, it's again very short-term thing, and they might get a good deal or two, but eventually, basically, because the value is not created but just extracted, it will fall apart. Another mistake which some DAOs are doing is they want to launch a big community, 10,000 people, 100,000 people in the Discord. Last bull market, you probably saw the examples NFT launches, and now we have 10, 20 million of dollars in the treasury. We have 10,000 people on Discord, but we have no idea what to do. Because we just came here because it was a nice picture, but it was not really there was no mission, vision, how we actually built something with it. Good example you can check, it's Nouns DAO, which growing gradually, just one ounce a day, and basically they are getting new member every day, and because the community is just growing gradually, they are still very aligned what they want to build, and they become very successful, and it's because of the design of how they are actually growing. The third one, I would say it's not that much mistake on the DAO side, but getting external validation from users can get you way better deals when you actually start raising funds. If you are just getting the first validation from VCs, it might be a little bit off if that actually will be something what users will want, and also the VCs would hesitate to do it. And some projects which has great idea, but went this route to fundraise first, might just never succeed, but they could have because it was a really good product. They just didn't try to launch it soon. And now a couple examples of what I built and what I learned from it, because I think the best what I can talk about is what I have done and where I failed or succeeded, and you can learn from it. And also I would appreciate any advice on some of my failures, and we can talk about it after. So first one is Bankless Consulting. So it's a small consulting company. We started 3 years ago. And I think the best thing was it had really good revenue generation model. We are helping the project, they are paying for the work, and that's income, and people who are working on the project are getting paid. So that was a good thing. What happened to us that we had really clear how we are actually earning money. Also, because we were part of the Bankless DAO, we had really big pool of resources we could have used, and we have really great mix of resources. There were developers, tokenomics experts, governance, business experts. So whatever project came to us, we could have offered those services. And there were no outliers in the revenue. It was not like we are taking 50% of the money from there. Really, it was very well distributed towards all the contributors, which kind of help also to keep all the contributors around and work as a team. What we learned though, short-term project strategies. So our offering was very short-term, therefore we had to find new projects all the time, and it's just very time-consuming, and in the bear market gets even harder and harder. Sorry. And then unclear long-term incentive program. So we were about to launch a token or do some equity distribution, but we couldn't really come up with great plan or great mechanism we want to use. So we never launched anything. Therefore, those people who were involved might felt a little bit we don't want to get them in. And I think that was one of the issue we had. And what we learned that we actually need to have something like that. And the last, too broad scope, it's good to a little bit narrow it and focus on what you know the best, other than trying everything, and then it's very hard to manage. So the future path is coming basically from the mistakes, really having long-term incentive program to keep the community together and growing together and getting value from everyone. I think is the biggest thing what we want to do now. How to DAO. So that's another project. Started as a community project, also from Bankless DAO. So if you new to DAOs, Bankless DAO is a great start. There are so many people who can help you, and also so many projects starting. There have been definitely some dramas inside the Bankless DAO, as in every DAO, but there are still some great people around. But what happened actually later on, we actually got the deal with a large publisher, so we got the kind of funds and the guidance how to do a nice book about DAOs, which we can share with everyone. And with that also, experts from the industry were very keen to support. And this is kind of that thing I was talking, give or take, like, if people are giving, we can make better stuff because more people knows way more. And as a part of it, we also did some events where people meet up and create new connections, which was, I would say, pretty successful. What we learned, it's hard to do events. So thank you for Ethereum Prague doing this event. I know it's very hard, to get all the fun stakeholders together and make sure that everything works. All speakers are on time and stuff like that. Also, we signed the book deal probably like 2.5 years ago, and it will be published January 21st. It's not very agile, so we learned that working with some old-fashioned companies might take way longer than expected, and also how to actually engage new people which want to build a DAOs. It's really hard to target, and if anyone has some advice how to do it, like how to attract people who want to build new businesses, and we would like to maybe show them how they can do it as a DAO, that would be great advice. So basically we want to continue this long term, so we need to find some good business model which can support the project and also people in the ecosystem to have some income coming in, and then we can distribute it further. And of course, with that, onboard more builders if we figure out how to target them. And the last DAO I started is Workout DAO. And we had a nice bike ride with Annette here this morning. We went around the river. It was very nice. So next time, you should all join. And it's just a fun DAO. So this DAO doesn't have any business model as of now. It's just basically a fun way to network. We've done events in here in Prague, Paris, New York, also yesterday in Austin, actually. Other community member did run there. And it's really great way to find new people, and you have something in common. You like to run, or you like to climb, or something. So it's easier to make new connections. And as a DAO, you can just create this community and nurture it. Yeah, at the beginning, we maybe wanted to do it like that it will be some big thing, but eventually we realized we don't need to push it too hard. Let's just grow it gradually. Let's just grow the community. Someone will come with a new idea, and maybe we can be on the path of getting some money in and supporting more health and wellness in the Web3. And also, good thing, not everyone is early bird. So it happened to me in Paris. I did 7 a.m. run. Do you know how many people show up? Any takers? Yes, one, me. But there was 500 people sign up, but too early. Probably some good party last night. And what we want to do in the future, just enjoy those events, get more community members involved. So we can do run in Austin, we can do run here in Prague. Different members can do it, and then we just all meet also in digital space on Discord or Telegram, and we can share our thoughts. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about DAOs, about my projects, or you are building something, let me know.
Thank you. Thank you, Puncar, for the speech. And any question from the audience?
Thank you. It's going to be a short one. You started your actually, I really liked your presentation. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that you brought in real-life personal experiences. You started with a historical overview of the, let's say, how the world economics developed. What is your view on the development of the future economy? And will DAOs take over everything? And will it happen that that people will leave their jobs and they will be members of countless DAOs and will fiddle around with all the responsibilities around all of these DAOs that they are part of? And would that mean a complication? That's all.
No, thank you for the question. So my way of thinking on the DAO space is like the DAOs, the design of the DAOs will evolve over time. So as you see, everyone will leave their company. It might not be that way, but maybe the company will become a DAO. Means like it can be a like 10 people DAO. It doesn't need to be 100,000 DAO and everyone is token holder. It can be, you know, smaller scale thing. And basically, I hope in the future we will not talk about DAOs, same as we are not talking about LLCs or, you know, other type of like entities we are creating. We are just talking about our business. So, you know, in the future, I think this will be just like a type of company which is directly connected to the new financial market, like crypto market, so they can use the perks of it, of like, it's a more like economical freedom, you know, transaction, cross-border, and so on. So basically, we will be moving from relying on like some old financial rails and coming to the new ones. And one more thing towards that, and why I use some historical examples is, you know, there were countries which just basically took like savings from their citizens because they were like, we need money, you have savings, so we take it. This should not be. They should not be able to do that if we are all on a financial market which we kind of co-own and nobody can really manipulate. So that's kind of where I'm heading with those also historical examples. Is like, you know, if we create more economical like concept which is not governed by any single party, there is no way that one person, one group of people can just take over and basically get the money from the little guy and just keep it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. I will be around, so if you come up with a question, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.